subscribe. It's Storytime Productions. Twisted Tales.
Hello, my friends. Thought I would do an alien one, been a while. Watch to the end, it has a good ending. Enjoy. In the quiet wooded outskirts of Malden Creek, the night air was typically filled with the sounds of chirping crickets and the occasional hoot of an owl. However, on that fateful autumn night, an unnatural silence enveloped the area, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Henry Thomas, a middle-aged man with a love for late-night walks, found himself pausing in the middle of the forest path, his senses tingling with an eerie foreboding. The stars were unusually bright, casting ghostly shadows on the path before him. Suddenly, a blinding light pierced the darkness, engulfing Henry in a luminescent glow that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Before he could react, an intense force lifted him off his feet, his body paralyzed by an inexplicable power. The last thing Henry saw before losing consciousness was the canopy of trees being swallowed by a bluish light. When Henry awoke, he found himself strapped to a cold metallic table in a room that hummed with electronic activity. The air was sterile, filled with a sharp chemical scent. His heart pounded in his chest as he struggled against his restraints, only to hear a series of clicks around him. From the shadows emerged figures, not human, but creatures with elongated limbs and large, unblinking eyes that studied him with a dispassionate curiosity. One of the creatures approached, its movements smooth and deliberate. In its hand was a device that emitted a soft, pulsating light. Henry felt a wave of panic as the creature placed the device against his temple. Images and memories began to flood his mind, each one extracted and examined by the alien before him. It was as though they were sifting through his thoughts, searching for something Henry could not understand. The testing continued for what felt like hours. Henry was subjected to a series of physical and psychological tests, each more invasive than the last. He was probed, injected with unknown substances, and exposed to strange sensory experiences that distorted his perception of reality. Throughout it all, the creatures remained silent, their expressions unreadable. Just as suddenly as it had begun, the ordeal ended. The creatures stepped back, and with a series of rapid clicks, the restraints around Henry's limbs retracted. He was lifted by the same force that had brought him there, only this time, it carried him swiftly back towards Earth. Henry's descent was rapid, the cool night air of Malden Creek rushing against his face as he was gently deposited on the very path where he had been taken. The forest was silent once again, the strange light and the eerie creatures gone as if they had never been there. Henry stumbled home, his mind reeling from the experience. In the days that followed, Henry tried to return to his normal life, but the memories of his abduction haunted him. He was plagued by nightmares, each one vividly recalling the sensation of being watched and tested. During the day, he found himself looking over his shoulder, an irrational fear of the night sky taking hold. Desperate for answers, Henry began researching alien encounters and abductions. He discovered a community of people who had experienced similar events, each story echoing his own terror and confusion. It was within this community that Henry found some semblance of peace, a sense of not being alone in his experience. As time passed, Henry's fear gradually subsided, replaced by a cautious fascination with the stars above. He knew that what had happened to him was beyond normal understanding, a glimpse into a universe that was vast and perhaps watching. Though he never took his late-night walks again, he often stood at his window, gazing up at the sky, wondering if the creatures were still out there, observing, waiting. A turning point in Henry's life, the kidnapping at Malden Creek served as a monument to the mysteries that lie beyond the stars, and the human spirit's ability to persevere in the face of uncertainty. Henry would eventually tell others about this experience, hoping not to be looked at as a conspirator. Yeah, no probing for me, thanks. Do you believe in aliens? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button, it is much appreciated. And as always, my friends, I will see you on the dark side. Sweet nightmares.
Stars, twisted tales. Subscribe.